friends, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Today I will discuss a topic named Economic Operation of Energy Generating System. Before to start that topic, as you know, that topic is totally related to power system. First have to know why we study power system. Power system is very important for the protection of power devices in order of reliable operation of the protective devices in the time of short circuit condition and any other faulty condition. Next, move to our topic named Economic Operation of Energy Generating System, where this term, from that term actually, economic, then from that term we can understand what does it mean. That means what is the function of energy generating system. The main aim of that topic is to minimization of total fuel cost of the generating unit. For that reason, to minimize the total fuel cost, there are some constant or there are some constants like have to select proper thermal unit, and number two, there will be some kind of mathematical technique as we can minimize our fuel cost function. Okay. So move to our topic step by step. That is, first move to our objective function. Already I said that the objective is to minimization of total fuel cost. Our objective function is to, if we consider in thermal generating unit, always it is a quadratic function. The cost function always represented in the form of quadratic function. Now suppose cost function C equals to, as it is a quadratic function, then it will be, suppose for nth number of generating unit, I equals to 1 to n, this is our cost function or our objective function. This one is the objective function. Our aim is to minimize that objective function, where that FPI which belongs to for ith number of generating unit, that means AI, it will be always a quadratic function. That's why it will be ax square plus bx plus c. That's why bi pi plus ci. Unit is dollar per hour. That is our objective function. That is the cost function, which is equals to that one FPI, and where FPI is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, where here AI, BI and CI represent the quadratic cost coefficient. Here AI, BI and CI represent the cost coefficient of nth number of generating unit, and P, that is PI is that a pi square plus bpi plus c, where that function actually API, which represent the fuel cost, it's represent the fuel cost of I or ith number of generating unit. Okay, so the cost function, objective function is like that, and pi already we know pi, here is pi, that pi represent the output power of ith generator. Pi represent the output power of ith generator. Okay, so that is our target. We have to minimize that function, but in that particular topic, to minimize that objective function, there is always some constants. Come to the points of constant. I am rubbing my board. First constant is, there are two constants. Number one is equality constant, and number two is inequality constant. What is equality constant? Equality constant is nothing, it is only, equality constant means generation equals to demand plus loss. It follows that equation. Generation equals to demand plus loss. That's why, for suppose nth number of generating units, it is Pi equals to Pt plus P loss. That is equality. And inequality constant equals to, inequality constant means the output of the nth number of generator unit, it is actually between two limits. It will be always less than equals to the upper limit and greater than equals to the lower limit. That is called the inequality constant. Like Pi value always less than equals to Pi max and greater than equals to Pi min. That is the inequality constant. We can always, we have to minimize that objective function which I have written before, that is equals to under of two constant, that is number one equality and number two is inequality. Then I am moving to my next topic or next point, that is analytical approach, how we minimize the cost function of thermal generating unit without considering losses. I am repeating it once again. Next target is to minimization of that objective function, that means that cost function, when we will not consider the losses. But practically always remember that it is not possible. But theoretically have to know how we'll derive the formula when there is some cost function is there and you have to find out the cost function related to different number of thermal generating units where the losses are not present at that time. So for that reason, so what I said, that to find out or you have to minimize the cost function or the analytical approach when without considering transmission loss. For that reason, you have to find out the analytical approach. Before that, I am am showing here one nth number of thermal generating unit. This one is Pi, and the input to all nth number of thermal generating is the cost function, which is starts from F1, this one is F5, and that one is up to suppose Fn. Now see, from that figure we can say that F1, F5 up to Fn is the input to that thermal generating unit, and all are the output power Pi, P1, Pi and up to Pn is the output power for nth number of generating unit, which are connected to a buses, a single buses, from there to fulfill our load demand. That is our target, and for that case P loss is not present. P loss not present. At that time, how we'll find out that? Suppose if we consider the cost function here, will be always P equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus Pi plus summation of Pn, up to Pn, which is equals to summation of I equals to 1 to n Pi, that is the total power. This one is the total power. After that, if this one is the total power, that means the fuel input, that thing you have to find out. If this is represented by equation number 1, the total input is F1, F5 and their Fn, so it becomes F equals to same thing, F1 plus F2 plus F5 plus up to Fn. It means that it is equals to summation of I equals to 1 to n F Pi, that is represented in equation number 2. Now, what is the constant over here? The constant is there sum of output power, that is P1 to Pn, is equals to the demand, because loss are not present. That means the constant is there P1 to Pn, that means summation of I equals to 1 to n Pi equals to P load. That is our constant over here, which is represented in equation number 3. Next move to, I am running the board. Okay, I am running. That's it. How the next target is that how we will minimize the cost function. For that, we will apply here the Lagrangian multiplier technique. According to Lagrangian multiplier techniques, L equals to A plus lambda phi. Here phi is the constant. Constant means this constant. Equation number 3. So after that, put here the constant, it becomes L equals to F plus lambda phi value, that means this one, that one will be our phi value. So in space of phi we'll put here P load minus summation of I equals to 1 to m pi. Okay, L equals to A plus lambda phi. In space of phi, as this one is the constant, that's why in space of that constant part we will put equation number 3, just arranging it like that. P load, that means right hand side, minus generation I equals to 1 to pi. That thing already I know. Next target is that we have to find out the value of lambda. For that reason, if we do it partial fraction of Lagrangian technique with respect to any independent variable, it will become 0. That's why the partial differentiation of this one, del L, with respect to generating power, that is del pi, which is equals to df. F means actually for it will be for ith number of generating unit, that's why dfi by dpi. That term is 0, that means it become minus lambda. Okay, because dpi by dpi it's become 1, so it's there, before that there is a negative sign, so it becomes minus 1. As that partial fraction term is 0, it's become lambda equals to dfi by dpi. That is the condition when, or the analytical approach, when transmission losses are 0, no losses are present in the system. So we can write it for nth number of generating unit, df1 by dp1 equals to df2 by dp2 equals to dfn by dpn, like that. This formula is very important to solve any kind of numerical problem. Okay. Next I am moving to the topic, same analytical approach to minimization of cost function when transmission loss are present in the system. I am having the board. What I said? When transmission losses are present. Transmission losses are present in the system. For that reason, suppose I am considering here one integrated system. Where like that, like before, nth number of generating unit are connected, then output power, okay, like that, like that. Same thing for that one, only the power, that is the power term, power is here, P equals to same thing like previous one, Pi up to Pn, that means it is equals to summation of I equals to 1 to n Pi, but the constant term will be different in that case. Why? Because their losses are present. As losses are present, generation equals to demand plus loss. So generation equals to, here generation is equation number 1, it's become summation of I equals to 1 to n pi equals to demand PD plus P loss PD plus P loss, or we can write it like that, P load actually. P load plus PL, that is represented in equation number 2. That is our constant. So from that equation we can write minus summation of I equals to 1 to n pi plus P load plus PL, which is equals to 0. Okay. Just after rearranging it and after taking the left hand side to the P load plus PL minus summation of I equals to 1 to n pi equals to 0. That's it. So now if we apply the Lagrangian multiplier technique, it will be like that. I am rubbing the right hand side portion. See here, L equals to A plus lambda phi, where phi is constant. Then it becomes lambda in space of phi, put equation number 2 minus summation of I equals to 1 to n pi plus P load plus PL. Okay. From there, if we do the partial fraction of that, it becomes del L by, with respect to generating unit, that means del Pi equals to dFi by dPi, and same thing here consider for ith number of generating unit. So dFi by dPi, after that lambda, it will be minus lambda, and here we will get always 1, negative also take common, P load is 0, with respect to PL it will be minus, as we have considered here taking negative minus sign as a common, it's become del PL by del PI. So check it. With respect to del Pi, with respect to Pi, we are doing the partial differentiation. First term becomes del L by del Pi, which tends to 0. After the dFi by dPi, minus, taking common minus lambda, it's become 1. And after that, as that term is 0, it's become del PL by del Pi. So from there, dFi, more spaces are required. I'm writing over here. dFi by dPi equals to taking common here, lambda into 1 minus del PL by del Pi. Okay. So this one dFi by dPi equals to lambda into that one. So it becomes dFi by dPi into 1 minus del PL by del Pi equals to lambda. Here that term is called penalty factor. For ith number of generating units, that's why PFI, penalty factor of ith number of generating units, it's become what? dFi by dPi, that means that first term, into that penalty factor for ith number of generating units equals to lambda. I am rubbing my left hand side portion. left hand side portion of my board, then it will be very clear for you to understand. dFi by dPi into penalty factor of ith number of generating unit equals to lambda. That is the condition. That means for nth number of generating unit, we can write dF1 by dP1 into penalty factor of number 1 generating unit, okay, dF1 equals to dF2 by dP2 into penalty factor of 2 number of generating units, which is equals to dFn by dPn for nth number of generating units into penalty factor of nth number of generating units equals to lambda. This is the condition for nth number of generating unit. Based on that formula also we can solve different numerical problem. Okay. So now I am rubbing my board and move to one problem as an example. Move to one problem, that is, consider, suppose the cost function is given, for any number of generating unit. Now if we consider a cost function of 50 megawatt generator is obtained, the cost function is given, suppose API, that is our cost function which will be given in the problem that is equals to 5 plus 2 to 5 plus 53 pi plus, that means ax square plus bx plus c, this one is the c term, that one is bx term, and the ax square is here, suppose 0.02 pi square dollar per hour. Total given, the total cost function of a 50 megawatt generator. Now our aim is that we have to find out the incremental fuel cost. The incremental fuel cost IFC have to find out, number 1, and next have to find out IFC when 100% loading is applied. When 100% IFC when 100% loading is applied. That is our problem. Then how we will solve that problem? That one is given, cost function, have to find out the IFC expression first, and second IFC when 100% loading is applied. So I will consider, when we find out the IFC at that time, it is only differentiation of that one, dFi by dPi. Have to do, for proper solution, to get easy solution, if we multiply with 10 to the power 3 in the problem, then it will be easy to find out the value IFC. So it's become, if you do the differentiation of with respect to Pi, obviously it's become 0. It's become 53. That means 53 plus 0.04 pi into 10 to the power 3. this one is the solution of question number 1. Incremental fuel cost. Incremental fuel cost is nothing, only the differentiation value with respect to pi. dfi by dpi, which is equals to, that term will be 0, 53. After differentiation it has become 0.04 pi. As we have multiplied with 10 to the power 3 in the problem actually, then it is 10 to the power 3 unit is rupees per hour. So I think all of you got. Next, move to the next point, that IFC when 100% loading is applied. If 100% loading is applied, it means that it becomes 100%. That's why IFC equals to 53 plus 0.04. 100% means it's become 50. It will be as it is, 10 to the power 3. So if we multiply it 0.04 with 50 and after addition, the answer will be, you will get 55 into 10 to the power 3 rupees per hour. Okay, like that we will solve the problem. Now suppose in your question, if your question is find out the incremental fuel cost when 50% loading is applied. Suppose your question is when 50% loading is applied. Same thing you have to find out. Already you got that one. That's why 50% means in space of 50, here put 25. And after multiplication, we will get the answer. Okay. This one is the answer. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.